developed, some of you might be familiar, we developed the Activator poles. So we developed them for people who have balance issues and more for the goals of rehabilitation. So as Tessa mentioned, we're offering them at 10% off, and then we're also giving a donation to the Alberta Parkinson's Association with the purchase. So Tessa, send that to you. Just before we get started, I'm just going to give you 8 tips on how to do these safely and effectively at home. So first of all, make sure you've got some water nearby because we're going to exercise for about 30 minutes. You do need to have good shoes, so either walking shoes or running shoes. Don't have your dress shoes on. Don't use your slippers. Those are a big cause of falls within your home as well. I've got a chair in the background, and so you can either use a really sturdy chair or put your chair against the wall. Okay, so you've got the chair behind you in case you're tired, you want a bit of a break, or you stumble, you've got the chair behind you, or the wall behind you if we're going to do some standing exercises. Now, I'm going to do seated and standing exercises because this, just so you know, this is the first time I have taught a lot through the internet, but I've never done a virtual exercise class like we're doing this morning. So just want to let you know, because normally I would be in front of you and I would know, what your abilities are. I don't, so I just wanted to let you know, if you feel more comfortable, you can do all these exercises in a seated position, okay? But if you feel like, I want to work out more and you don't need something for walking, you've got good coordination, you can do all of them in standing as well, okay? You can just sort of adjust them. Same with the movement. I'm going to do some big movements, but just do what you feel comfortable with. You want a bit of a workout, but I don't want you to do something you feel unsafe doing. If you have poles and they have straps that you put your hand into them, I'm going to suggest for this session, don't put your hand into the straps, okay? Just because we're going to be changing your position of using the poles in a lot of different ways. And if you're strapped in, you're going to have to keep removing the strap. And also, if it gets caught, I don't want you to trip and fall down with the pole, okay? If you've got the Activator poles, just so you know, there is a right and a left, okay? So you know, because there's an R and an L at the top, if you can see that. The whole reason why that really matters is because of this ledge here. Because this ledge, which is actually, if you can see it, where you rest your hand on it, it's that ledge where we're going to push down to keep yourself more upright for core strengthening. So that's got to be facing outwards, okay? And also keep your legs apart. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my seat, and hopefully you can all hear me. If you can't, just let Tessa know, and she's going to tell me to talk a little bit louder, okay? So
before you start, Mandy,
yeah.
I'll just let everybody know I've actually muted everyone. So you'll have to unmute yourself. If you'd like to say something, you can also type it in the chat box and I'll keep my eye on it.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, great. Okay, so just before we get started, let's just talk about what length you want your poles. Okay, so normally for me, I would have the poles at the height where my elbow's at a 90-degree angle. But when I'm exercising with poles, of course I want them to be a lot shorter because I don't want my shoulders way up here. I just want them nice and comfortable. So again, if you have poles and you use them for walking, what I'd like you to do right now is shorten them down, and it should be about this height. See how my shoulders are at a really nice, comfortable height here. It really allows me to have a nice upper body trunk movement, but they're not way up here and they're not way down here. So I'm just going to adjust them. I can adjust my poles by looking at the white line below, and then I'm going to bring them to, I'm going to shorten them actually all the way to button number 1, okay? The other thing is, bring your legs wide apart, okay? If you bring your legs wide apart, like I've got here, That just gives you a lot more stability than if you keep your legs together. So if you're standing, same thing, just keep them a little bit further apart and see how much more stability I have when my legs are apart, okay? So let's start off then. And the first thing we're gonna do is our legs are apart, our poles are out in front, and let's just wake up our hands, okay? So for everybody, let's just bring your hands, bring them wide open. Okay, let's do that 10 times. The reason why we're doing that is a lot of people think when you start doing exercises with poles, you want to grip them tight. You don't. We actually want you to grip loose with that open hand, and we want you to press down on the base here for the core, okay? So that's it. And now we're going to do that on resting our hands right on that ledge. And, okay, sorry, I didn't also mention to you, what are the benefits of using our poles for exercise? Well, the first thing you can see is, see how I'm sitting nice and upright? Like, so for many people, and myself included, all day long, we're at the computers, and we're all hunched over like this. And as you know, part of the, a symptom of Parkinson's is that we all tend to be a bit more stooped as well. But the whole idea behind using poles for exercises is that it actually lifts you up into a nice upright seated position. So let's do this as the next exercise. Stay relaxed. Now bring yourself up. That's it. Relax. Bring your ribs up, your shoulders back. Relax. Ribs up, shoulders back. And you can press down on the base of that handle to bring you up. That's it. And your belly button comes forward. Now my shoulders are back, but they're not slouched up, right? They're nice and relaxed, but they're more upright. Okay, and if you want to do it at the same time, you can open up your hands. 2, let's do 5 of those. 3, 4, and 5. So remember, anytime during this exercise today, I'm going to keep reminding you, push down to that ledge, and let's have you do nice upright posture. Okay, now let's bring our poles out to the sides, or if you don't have poles, you can let's just start off with a nice marching, okay? Let's just warm up with a nice march, okay? That's it, and again, remember, I'm pushing on that ledge, so see how nice and upright I am with my trunk. Okay, so this time, let's march for 5 steps, and then let's kick out straight for some knee extension. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then kick forward and kick with the other leg, and let's do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick out, kick out. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick forward, kick forward. Okay, this time we're going to bring our knees to our chest after we do 2 kicks. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to kick forward. 1, 2, and then bring your knee to your chest, knee to your chest. So if you're standing, just bring up your knee as high as you can go. Again, if you can't do that, just do what you can. Okay, and we'll do that same sequence again. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick forward, knee to the chest, knee to the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick forward, knee to the chest, knee to the chest. Perfect. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is if you're seated down, I just want you to lean forward. Okay, this is great for weight shifting. This is great for trunk control. And this is a really good exercise for sitting to standing. Okay, because when you're sitting and you're standing, you really want to bring your weight forward first before you stand. So let's just have you lean forward and back. Forward and back. Again, if you want more exercise, push down on that ledge. And we're going to go for 1. Let's do it for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now let's add on leaning forward, but then spring your arms out. Okay, lean forward, and now open up your chest, bring your shoulders back, lean forward, lean back, open your chest, and let's do that 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now let's go back to marching. Let's do marching for 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's do a combination of leaning forward and leaning back and opening up your arms. Okay, so lean forward for 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now let's do 5 with our chest open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. And then go back to leaning forward and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do 5. Open arms, leaning forward. Open up your shoulders. Give your shoulders a nice workout there. Really open up your chest. Bring it forward. 4. And we'll do one last one. 5. Okay, now let's go back to just marching again. Okay. Okay, next we're going to do a movement. It's called stirring the pot. And what we're going to do is have your poles in front, put your legs wide apart. If you're standing, you can just, as I said, you can do any of these exercises in standing as well. That's what it looked like in standing. If you don't have poles, just pretend you're doing you're stirring a small little pot of food. That's it, that's it. So I can go back to seated. You're doing a small one. And now we're going to do a little bit bigger pot. We're going to keep stirring it. And now we're doing a witch's brew, and we're going to move it forward and back. See how I'm shifting my weight back and forth? Back and forth. That weight shifting is really important for balance and for movement, for walking movement, safe walking movement when you have to react quickly. That's it. I'm shifting my weight back and forth on my buttocks. Okay, let's go in the other direction. Let's go in the other directions. First, small. We're doing a small pot. We're stirring a small pot. We're making that pot a little bit bigger. So I'm leaning forward too. I'm leaning side to side. Okay, let's get up to that witch's brew, where we're really leaning forward. We're going side to side, back, side to side, and back. That's it. That's it. And I'm actually putting weight on both of my feet as well as I lean from side to side. I'm actually shifting weight on my buttocks, but also my feet. Perfect. Okay, so we call that stirring the pot. Okay, bring your poles together. And this time we're going to do a movement that looks like breaststroke. So if you don't have a poles, just pretend you're doing the breaststroke. Do you remember the breaststroke? Bring your hands out in front. Lean forward, open your arms, do a big circle, bring them forward again. That's it, so bring the poles together to the front, open them up wide, bring them to your chest, forward, around, wide. That's it. So if you were standing, you'd be doing the same thing. You'd be leaning forward, bending your knees, keeping your feet wide apart. And then you would just be opening up your arms, bringing them together, leaning forward, You might even be bending your arms as you come forward. That's it. So we're doing the breaststroke right now. Okay. Let's reverse the breaststroke. Let's bring it towards us, go in the opposite direction and lean forward. Big circles. Now I'm leaning forward and bringing the poles back to me. So we're going in the reverse direction. That's it. That's it. And I'm shifting my weight back and forth. So I'm bringing the poles out front, to get back, to the sides, together, back, around, together, back. Okay, so we're doing a reverse breaststroke, and hopefully you're getting a really nice stretch in your shoulders. And we're also working that weight shifting, going forward and back, forward and back. Okay, perfect, everyone. Now let's have you go back to marching. Let's just take a little bit of a easier break. Let's go back to marching. Again, if you're standing up, you can just march. And of course, if you don't, this is a good one without poles or with poles. That's it. And if you really want more of a workout, bring up your knees. Bring up your knees during this time and really bring up your heart rate. But if you want to have a little bit of a break, make your steps nice and small. That's it. Okay, the next one we're going to do is called kayaking. So, do you remember how to kayak? Pretend you put your hands, your poles out front, your hands on top. Again, this is pretty easy to mimic if you don't have poles. And we're just going to shift to side, just small movements. Remember, shift your weight from one bum to the other bum. You're going to do a lot of core strengthening when you do that. But also, as I mentioned, weight shifting is great for posture, for balance. That's it. And now we're going to do a little bit bigger. I present a lot all over the world, and I always call this my Canadian kayaking exercise, even though I'm pretty sure this is how they kayak wherever you go in the world. But anyways. Okay, so let's do 5 more of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, perfect. Now, bring your hands out straight and come back. Straight and come back. Let's do that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's mix it in with the kayaking. Let's go back to the kayaking. That's it. It's so nice too, isn't it? Nice movement as well. We're kayaking on the, you're here in Vancouver with me, kayaking on the ocean. That's it. Okay, and let's do 5 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, give yourself a bit of a rest. And let's just work on our feet. So keep them marching, but this time put your one foot out and tap to the side with your toes. So tap to the side, tap to the side. That's it, tap with your toes. Ankle movement, really important in terms of preventing falls too. So really push and tap your toes to the side. That's it. Great, so let's do that for, let's say 10 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's go back to the kayaking for the last time. Do the kayaking, that's it, that's it. So if you're standing, you could just do this movement. And you could just, if you don't have poles, just pretend you got your poles in your hands and do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and bring it out front. Push your poles out front, bring them forward. Let's do that for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll do the kayaking for the last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now keep your feet going. Don't let your heart rate come down. And this time we're going to tap to the side, but I want you to bend your ankle and your toe is to the ceiling. That's it. So I'm going to bend my ankle. I'm going to be, my toe is pointing up to the ceiling. And also when we're doing this, we're also working our hip ab and adductors. Okay? That's it. Point them out to the side. And let's do this 5 more times. To the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you find that hard to do that when you're seated, come up closer to the top of where your chair is. Okay, and keep on marching, keep on marching. That's it. You can march really high if you want more of a workout, or you can really small if you just want to have a bit of a break. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do some upper extremity movement again, and we're going to bring your legs apart, and I want you to bring it out to the side. That's it. Bring it out to the side. That's it. So bring it in and bring it out. Bring it to your chest and bring it to the side. Bring it in to the chest. Here, 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 here. That's it. And again, see how we're shifting on our buttocks, on your right and left buttocks. That's great for your core. That's it. That's it. Okay. And now do it out front again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the diagonal again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and back down to marching. If you've got some water, you might want to take a bit of a sip. And I'm just going to come in closer to find out if you guys want me to go a little bit faster, a little bit slower, if you can hear me okay. So don't hesitate to give me a bit of feedback while you take a sip of water.
Mandy, I can hear you well. I think it's a nice pace. I'm going to unmute everybody so they can chime in if they have anything to add.
Guys, what would you say? A little faster, a little slower?
I'm finding the pace is good, but I'm adding a little bit, doing some stuff that I do from the circuit class with Paul.
Perfect.
Just modifying. So no, it's good. Just modify if I want to step it up a bit.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we want people to do. So that's perfect. How about other people? Is the pace okay, or do you want me to do a little bit slower, faster?
It's okay.
It's okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So we'll go back. I'm going to just flip my chart here, and we will go back to exercising. Okay. So in this one, you probably will have to be seated down. We're going to do a thing called so. In this one, you're going to lift up your foot. You're going to do a small circle, and then you can do a big circle. That's it. That's it. Okay, let's move to the other leg. Small circle. Now, bigger circle. Excellent. 2. Okay, now let's do 2 on each side. So 1 circle, 2 circle. Other side, 1 circle, 2 circle. 1 circle, 2 circle. That's it. And the other side, 1 circle, 2 circle. Okay, just to mix you up, let's go in the opposite direction. Do it small, small circles. Now let's do a bigger one. If you can, try to stay seated up, nice and upright. And that's it. Other direction with the other foot. Start small, small. Let's go bigger, bigger. Okay, now let's go back to doing 2 again on each side. 1 circle, 2 circle, 1 circle, 2 circle, 1 circle, 2, 1 circle, 2. Okay, and let's go back to just marching. That's it. Keep your feet moving, keep your foot moving. Now correct your posture again. Sit nice and upright. That's it. Shoulders are relaxed, but your rib cage is up. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a few for core strengthening. So bring your poles out front. Okay. Sit on the edge of your chair and let's work on some core strengthening. So what I want you to do is just bring your buttocks off the seat and hold it there. Can you hold it? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Sit back down. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4. This position is really critical in terms of safe seated to standing. It also really works your core as well. Okay, and just hold it there. Hold it there. That's it. We're going to do it a little bit faster. So seated, standing, seated, standing. Hold it, seated, and I'm going to have you stand right up. Okay, so for the rest of this, I'm actually going to show you them in standing, but again, you can do them in seated if you want. Keep on marching. Keep on marching. While I'm up, I'm just going to change the height of my poles and then make them a little bit longer. Okay. If you can keep marching while you're doing that, that's perfect. Okay. And keep your legs apart. And let's just have you shift your weight back and forth. Really good balance exercise. That's it. Shift your weight back and forth. Now I've got the wall right behind me in case I'm going to need it for support. Okay, now let's step out to the side. Let's do that 10 times. 1, 2. Bend your knees a little bit. Keep yourself nice and upright. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go the opposite side. Sorry, I'm just going to move that. Okay, and step out to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's go side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, bend that front foot. Bend it, lean out to the side, but use that poles to keep yourself nice and upright. You can push down on that ledge for some more core strengthening too. Okay, great. Now come back to marching again. Marching, that's it. And now we're going to do some lunges to the side. Okay, so a lunge out. So you're bending your foot forward. You're bending your knee forward. Okay, and bring it in. Lunge out to the side again. Lunge and hold. Lunge and hold. That's it. Let's do that for 5 more times. 3, 4, sorry, 5. Okay, and to the other side. We're going to do a lunge. That's it. So bring your arm and your leg out. Bend it forward to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Go back to marching. Go back to marching. That's it. Keep your feet going. Keep your feet going. That's it. That's it. Don't slow down. If you can help it, don't try not to slow down. And now we're going to do another movement from PWR, which is put your feet apart. Take one hand, reach up to the ceiling, and the other pole is keeping you supported. Okay? That's it. Reach up. Reach up. So if you can, you're just standing on one foot, okay? And then I'm coming down here, I'm bending my knees, and I'm reaching out. That's it. So that's one of the PWR movements. That's it. That's it. Okay, and back to your marching position. Okay, and you can tap forward with your foot. If you can, bend your ankle and point your toes up. Okay, we're going to start slowing down, getting more towards the end, and we're just going to do a few minutes of just stretching. Okay, so we're tapping out to the side. Our ankles are bent. Okay, so let's just do a few ones for stretching and for balance. See, can you go on your tippy toes? See if you can go on your tippy toes, okay? One of the biggest things that the poles can help you with is to not shuffle. And part of not shuffling is really having good ankle, we call dorsiplantar flexion, right? So being able to get up on your toes. That's it. That's it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, now let's do a little bit of stretch to the side. So bend your one knee, put your legs out, and let's just stretch out our hips a little bit. That's it. Good. Hold that. And the other side, bend your knee. That's it. And remember, keep yourself leaning forward, nice upright posture. And let's breathe in and out. Let's do some deep breaths. That's it. And other side, nice deep breaths in. Remember, try to stand upright as much as you can. Very good. Now, lunge forward and give your back of your leg a nice stretch. That's it. Pulls out front for stability. Your trunk is facing forward. Nice posture. Bring your chest up, shoulders back, but you're stretching that back leg. Okay, you should feel it on the back of your leg. That's it. And let's do the other side. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to being in my seated position. You can stay standing if you want. And let's just bring our shoulders and our arms up. That's it. Nice stretch. Keep them wide. Okay, and breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Give your shoulders a nice stretch. It's always your shoulder joint that seems to give a lot of people problems. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. And that's it. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. That was our first introductory session. And if you have any comments about how you'd like us to change it or modify it, I would greatly appreciate that. And again, I think Tessa's going to hand out some information about where you can get the poles. So just remember that when you're exercising with poles, the whole idea behind it is it should be cueing you to that nice upper trunk posture, whether you're standing or sitting. And remember, you're always going to be pushing down on that ledge, not a tight grip, down to really force yourself upright. And also, every time you press down on this ledge, what's happening is, if you've got it in front of you, you can do it right now with me, is wrap your hand around the pole, push down on that ledge, and put one hand on your abs, okay? So every time I push down on here, I'm actually getting an abdominal contraction. So that's why it's so great to use poles for walking, because what it means is if you were to walk for 1 kilometer, you would get 1,000 contractions happening in your abdominal muscles. Okay, so it's a really easy, simple way for you to be walking, but also exercising at the same time, okay? So if you want to, you can end off to, oops, sorry, I didn't have that locked in. You can end up this session with just doing a walk around your living room or a circle up and down your hallways to cool down. And just remember when you're walking, which is just opposite arm and leg, same movement as regular walking, is that you keep yourself nice and upright as you can be, and you're pushing down on that ledge for a bit more core strengthening, okay? And remember, it's just opposite arm and leg. So if you want to, that could be your cool down as well. Or you could head out around your neighborhood and go around the block a few times. So thankfully, walking is one of the things that still people can do outside right now. And so let's take advantage of that if you've got your poles. So I'm just going to come forward to see if anyone's got any additional questions or comments.
Yeah, thanks, Mandy. That feels good to get moving in the morning.
It does. I'm not used to it myself.
Does anybody have any questions about the poles, questions about the workout, comments?
Well, I got some great tips. Like, I don't have the activators. I've just got regular poles. And I just realized that I can kind of push down on the straps and try to engage the core. It also felt different. Like, it felt good because with the poles, you conscientiously think about staying upright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got everything out of this I was hoping to. It was great. Thanks, Mandy.
Great. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Oh,
lots
good.
of good tips.
Oh, that's good to hear. Just be a little bit careful with the straps, because I find the research shows too that sometimes the straps get caught.
Yes.
But you're absolutely right. You know that the straps are there. Some of the straps look more like a glove, and you can push down more. But that's the whole idea that people don't realize, is that that pushing down really brings you more upright and a bit more core.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I found, having like you're using your whole body a little bit more even just when you're probably holding on to the poles.
Exactly. And what they show is that you use 75 to 90% of your muscles when you're using poles. So, you know, when you're walking, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to walk. I'm a huge walker myself. But when you walk, you're primarily using your lower extremity muscles. Whereas when you use poles, you use 75 to 90%. And it really focuses on that core, which, you know, I think for most of us, that's the area we care the most about in terms of overall fitness. Great. Any other comments from people? Did people find was I changing the exercises too much? Like, would people have preferred I stayed more with less exercises, or what did you think of the pace? So 2 questions there.
No, I thought it was a good series of exercises at a good pace. I appreciated it.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lon.
Okay.
I see a couple people. I'm not able to unmute you for some reason, so you might have to if you want to chime in, unmute yourself. Is there anybody?
I'm just saying hi from Canmore. It's the other.
Oh, hi, Mandy. It's the other Mandy.
Late morning runs, and I got carried away. And he said, "What time's your webinar?" And I said, 10 o'clock. And he said, "It's 10:15." And I went, "Ah!"
So, MJ is the ambassador for Alberta.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, we do have people from all over the province, I think, tuned in here today. So that's great. And I will mention I had this question, and it's it's a good one, is whether you can watch this again if you wanted to do the same workout again. So Parkinson Association of Alberta has a YouTube channel. It has all our past videos, and this one will be going up there probably later today or tomorrow, and then you can watch it and do it again, share it with others, refer back to it. So.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks,
Okay,
Mandy.
have a good day, everyone.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
See you Wednesday, Vaughn.
See you later.